Alrighty guys, we're back for some Hasty token mid-range, and this is a March of the Machine, the Aftermath Standard Brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do got that Discord link as well as that relatively new Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Speaking of the Patreon, this was a patron suggestion, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. So on the top end here, we got plenty of ways to generate some hasty tokens, with Skitterbeam Battalion being a 9-mana 4/4 trample haste. And when Skitterbeam Battalion enters the battlefield, if you cast it, create 2 tokens that are copies of it. Now it also has that prototype for 3 in double red, and they're 2/2s instead of 4/4s at that point. Pretty solid card, guys. It really is. More ways to generate hasty tokens. Of course, we got all 4 burn down the house in here. Those devils are very powerful. And then more often than not, we're probably wiping the board because we are up against a lot of different aggro builds between soldiers, Selesnya enchantments, mono red, right? There's a lot of aggro floating about. So 5 damage to everything really comes in handy, huh? Now, while we're spamming out all those tokens in the late game, hopefully we're setting up in the early game with like Mechanized Warfare, one that we usually just see in aggro builds. But when I call this mid-range, we're really trying to be like early mid-game victory is what we're trying to go for here. We're trying to set up with Warfare and then win on like turn 6 with a bunch of hasty tokens. Now, I know we're probably not going to win on turn 6, but that's kind of sort of the goal, right? So Mechanized Warfare is a 3-mana enchantment. If a red or artifact source you control would deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage plus 1 instead. A pretty powerful card. We know how powerful it is because of those aggro builds, but I also think it has a spot in certain mid-range decks, kind of like this one, right? So we have a bunch of ways to help us survive early on, with some spot removal like 3 Play with Fires. Of course, we can smack the opponent's face with this as well, which will come in handy. We got 3 Volcanic Spites here. Now it's a 2-mana instant speed, deals 3 damage to target creature, planeswalker, or battle. Now we don't have battles in here, but realistically I'm choosing this piece of spot removal for that bottom ability because I do like filtering, which is you may put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. If you do, draw a card. Nice. It's a solid piece of removal, man. Got a couple Bitter Reunions. This is a 2-mana enchantment, and when it enters the battlefield, you discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Awesome. It's got that bottom ability, though. For 1 mana, you can sacrifice Bitter Reunion. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. While a lot of the top-end creatures are spamming out with haste, some of them don't, and we'll go over those in just a second, right? And of course, you could use like Power Stones to activate the Bitter Reunion ability, which could come in handy because we do have ways to generate Power Stones with 3 Thran Spiders here. 3 mana 2/4 with Reach is not half bad. When it enters the battlefield, you and target opponent each create a tapped Power Stone token. Not going to go over the bottom ability right now because I don't know how often we actually activate that in this deck in particular. Rocking our one of Celestus, of course. I packed this into a lot of different mid-range builds. It happens to be very good, and honestly, it's sometimes just like Celestus can win you the game, just because of how it filters, and it can give you those couple extra turns if you gained a few life off of it throughout the match. Yeah, it's good, man. It's solid. Already went over the Mechanized Warfare. We got a couple Brotherhood's Ends in here. 3 damage to each creature and planeswalker will definitely come in handy, period. But that bottom ability, not so much, probably. Destroy all artifacts with mana value 3 or less. We probably don't want to do that, but you never know. It's on the card for a reason, huh? More ways to wipe the board with a couple Elder Dragon Wars as well. 2 damage to each creature and each opponent as well, so nice. The second chapter on this 4-mana saga is a discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. Okay, more filtering. Not bad. I like filtering. Chapter 3, you get that 4/4 flying dragon. And these dragons would be awesome to give haste to with like the Bitter Reunion and stuff, right? Flying in the air with 4/4, you might be wrapping up the game soon, honestly. So yeah, not half bad. Got a Twinshot Sniper here, and honestly, the channel ability, we're probably going to be considering this more early game removal. For a channel of 1 and a red mana, discard Twinshot Sniper. It deals 2 damage to any target. Not bad, guys. I'm mainly in here, though, because it's also just an artifact creature, so we can use our Power Stones to ramp right into this. I don't really want to call it ramping into this. It's like kind of sort of use your power stone so you have open mana for like another piece of removal and whatnot. So 4 mana 2/3 with reach, not bad, but when it ETBs, you get that 2 damage to any target as well. I kind of sort of feel like Twinshot Sniper is just underplayed, and I think it's going to be terrific in here. Now we got Ognis, the Dragon's Lash. Since we have so many cards here that for 5 mana spam down a bunch of hasty creatures, I think Ognis is going to be sweet. That's probably a janky pick though, based on how much spot removal is just packed into everybody's deck, but it's just a really fun card, man. So Ognis, the Dragon's Lash is a 4 mana, 3/3. In this deck, we're just casting it out with all red mana, right? So it has haste. Whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, you create a tapped treasure token. So what that ends up doing is if you have Ognis down on like turn 4 or whatever, and you manage to pull off like a Skitterbeam Battalion the next turn, and you got all those hasty things swinging in, then you're getting 4 treasure tokens, which means the next turn you'll have those 4 treasure tokens plus your 5 mana that you played the battalion with. So you'll have the 9 if you want to just outright cast a giant battalion that are all 4/4s instead. So that could be really cool and maybe worth the 2 of for Ognis, huh? Since there is that small artifact theme going on in here, we do have 3 Mightstone Weakstones, mainly for the card draw. If you're looking at this deck, like, I guess you could kind of sort of consider Bitter Reunion cards draw, but not really. Everything else just filters. So not a lot of ways to actually get new cards into the hand, so the draw 2 on the Mightstone Weakstone could be pretty good, huh? And then the -5/-5 will probably come in handy from time to time too, and then also it just helps you ramp as well. I mean, of course, Mightstone Weakstone had to make the cut, and it's actually pretty easy to use that ramp on Mightstone and Weakstone. It's like the Power Stone stuff is actually kind of crazy, man. Like that extra ramp, getting 9 for a battalion just is not going to be unheard of at all. Which is also why we're rocking 1 portal to Phyrexia. Maybe it should be more. It's just kind of another board wipe that can also grab stuff out of the grave. Now, one thing to note, of course, you're not going to be like grabbing a battalion from the grave and getting that ability because you have to cast it for that ability, but it's still going to be worth the 1 of portal, I would imagine, right? Okay, the mana base, guys. We have 25 total land. Maybe it should be 26, but I think 25 is going to be fine, hopefully, right? Especially with all the filtering we're going to be doing. One of them is a Mirrex. We got a Hall of Tagsin here to generate extra Power Stone tokens in the mid-game if we need to. We got a Crucible and 22 Mountains. Bunch of honorable mentions, guys. Just bringing up like different versions of spot removal because generally speaking, when you see one of my builds and I'm rocking a piece of removal, you could just use your removal of choice based on what you're seeing in your meta. For some reason, are you going up against a lot of like artifacts? Then maybe a couple of braids would be better than the Volcanic Spite, right? So I have a braid over here. Depending on what creatures you're seeing, Strangle might be good, like dropping 1 or 2 Play with Fires and going up 1 or 2 Strangles. It really just depends on what you're seeing, huh? Lightning Strike, maybe you just need to hit the opponent's face more, right? No Requisitioner this time round. I actually don't think it would be too good in this particular build. Thought a lot about Urabrask's Forge as a 1 or 2 of, but really hard to actually find room for our 3 drops, so not this time round, although I do think it could have been cool in here with all of our like board wipes and stuff. We just keep wiping the board every turn, but every turn we get that Forge token or 2 if you have a couple of these down. Could have been cool, right? Invasion of Karsus, I did think about some other battles as well, since Volcanic Spite has that ability to hit the battles. Not this time, though. I think the Elder Dragon War is going to be a little better. It also fits that theme for hasty tokens. While the dragon isn't hasty, it's still a token, and I definitely wanted to stay as true as possible to the patron suggestion of having nice hasty tokens. So yeah, no Invasion of Karsus this time around, although I think it's a card to keep an eye out for. Thought about Hellraiser as well, not this time around. Same thing with Cityscape Leveler. I think this card is absolutely terrific. 1 or 2 of these on the top end could go a long way. Maybe we'll talk more about that in the final thoughts. And I also thought about more like utility land, like the Autonomous Furnace, but I do think it'll slow you down some games when there are going to be plenty of games where you actually need to like play a burn down the house on turn 4, like ramp off of the Celestus, drop your land right on time and then burn down the house on 4. We've done that plenty of times, so yeah, I guess slow land, not this time. Okay, guys, is that everything? I think so. Enough rambling, huh? Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. All right, guys, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. Of course we do, right? So what am I expecting from the build? I've had a lot of success with mono red mid-range, and so I am expecting a little bit. Oh my goodness. Guys, I have to try it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have to. I really hope they're not rocking. I really hope. Hello, opponent. Oh no, I was gonna say I hope they're not rocking a version of aggro, but with Okiba Reckoner Raid hitting the board, very well might be. Another 5 mana card. We have 25 mana total in here. And with the... Okay, well... Come on. If we see mana for the next 2 turns, I'll tell you what, dude, these devils can be insane. It doesn't have to be mana. Some ramp would be good too, but like Celestus last turn. Okay, there's mana. Guys, if we top deck a mountain, these devils are about to be insane. Oh my goodness, like putting up no fight for the first 4 turns here. Oh, Brotherhood's End is a great draw as well. We could hold it. No. Yeah, no, we just take care of these, huh? We take care of them. If we take too much extra damage, like I know Shieldred could drop this turn and Brotherhood's End could have taken care of it. Wow. Well, that's a thing, I guess. They dropped the GGs. Opponent. All right, I'm going to drop the Twinshot Sniper and just ping the opponent's face for 4. And it blocks pretty well here. Getting mana. I'll tell you what, dude. These burn down the houses. 3 of them, huh? Yeah, we want to chump because we're taking 2 from the draw. Phyrexia Obliterator. They drop another GG's. Opponent. I'll tell you what though, we probably go Mightstone Weakstone on the Obliterator because we can't source deals damage. That source's controller sacrifice. Yeah, we can't just like drop burn down the house now. Although a couple turns in a row of this. Tell you what, dude, I think we had a great chance here. I think we did. Opponent is very chatty. Let's give him an emote. Which one are we thinking? The summertime emote? Oh, they played Obliterator number 2. Aw, guys, that's rough, man. That's rough, dude. So if we do burn down the house, we'll have to sacrifice everything. Pretty brutal. So we're gonna have to chump for a couple turns, but at this point. So if we go 2. All right, well, let's just see what the opponent ends up doing. This could have been anyone's game, guys. If we would have seen the 5th mana right on time, I think it would have leaned towards us, but also double Obliterators. I don't know what we could have done about that, man. So the best bet, well, now we're forced to block all of them here. Right? Oh, the trample. Well, GG opponent, I guess. I guess you were correct. It was a good game. This is a perfect example, though, of what the deck is trying to do, man. We're trying to set up early with the Warfares and then just completely obliterate the mid-game with a bunch of hasty tokens. Beautiful. Even the Skitterbeam Battalion was a great draw. The biggest issue was getting around the Obliterator. Whenever a source deals damage to the Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. So like burn down the house just couldn't do the thing unless we wanted to sacrifice 7 permanents because we'd be dealing 7 damage to everything, right? Now we don't get to see Obliterator too often, so I do wonder how often that card will actually hold us up rather than just us being able to actually spam the board wipes when we need it and then spam out the tokens to close up the game. So I think that was actually a great first showcase of the deck, right? I'm actually glad I kept that hand just to see the capabilities of the build, you know? Okay. Brotherhood's End. Opponent goes first. I don't like this hand as much as the last one. The last one was like a janky keep, but this one actually just doesn't feel as good. But I also don't know if this is a mulligan either, so we're gonna keep it. Swamp. Oh no, not again. Watch, just another obliterator build. Oh, it might be Golgari Fight or something. Oh my goodness, guys, no, please. Oh no. If it is another obliterator build, we're kind of in trouble, man. Like, this deck is built to deal damage. Oh, that's good. We're gonna pick up a lot here. We should just drop the Brotherhood's End. For sure. Right? There's a chance of, like, Lisa. But there's a chance that they play Obliterator next turn, like Swamp Obliterator. So, we should just pick this up. Taking out, like, a Sunslayer. I'm not too concerned about it right now. Although if they do play Sunslayer, then the Ognis won't be able to swing through next turn, which means no ramp right now. Trespasser. I wonder if they trade. Could be a good trade for us, honestly. Ognis into Trespasser, we get the treasure token. They might just take the 3 too. Mechanized Warfare. Unfortunately, we weren't able to set that up last turn. We're going for it. I think this is a good trade for us, man. I do. Having that extra ramp so we can do multiple things, or two things on the same turn could be really good. Oh, they also have a forest open. It could be some form of protection for Trespasser, but nice, they take the 3. Which means we're about to have some big ramp, huh? Do we want to go burn down the house or Battalion? Tenacious Underdog, blitzing it on out. Dude. Okay, down to 14. Actually, down to 13, because yeah, they're picking up one of their own creatures there. So, burn down the house would mean we won't have a great way to deal. Well, it depends. But it does mean we'll be able to go 9 mana for Battalion next turn. Could do multiple things on this turn as well. No, we're going for it. Let's go greedy, huh? I don't think we die next turn, hopefully. Let's do this. Depending on what they do with these devils and everything. Oh, cut down for 1. Okay, so we still have, luckily we got the treasure from last turn too. We'll still have the 9 mana, even if we don't see a mana off the top. Down to 10. 9 mana for a Battalion. That is 4. That's 3 4/4s with trample and haste. So we'll see. We'll see if it's enough, man, because technically the opponent could have a lot here. Like, I guess, well, 1, 2, they have 6 mana, so it's not Breach the Multiverse, thank goodness, right? If they blitz back Underdog, they'll only have 2 open. I guess they could be like a spot removal. Enrica, nice. I wonder if they just transform it for some life gain? They go for the draw. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, opponent. See, they don't know that we have the Battalion is the thing. 9 mana for Battalion. Oh, how great were these first games, man? The showcase of these first games. Now we only get the 4 because the Devils lose the haste because they only gain the haste for that turn. Right here at the bottom, they gain haste until end of turn. So we don't get the extra haste from the Ognis. So what ends up happening here is that if they had spot removal for Battalion, first of all, Go for the Throat doesn't hit it. If it's like sacrifice non-token creature, I guess. Yeah, GG, buddy. GG. Outside of that, even like cut downs obviously would only hit the Devils. Go for the Throat hitting Ognis, blocking 2 of... Wait, hold on. Let me do that math real quick. This was a math is for blockers turn for sure, but I'm kind of interested to see. So if they had Go for the Throat for Ognis, right? they could block Trespasser and Henrika into 2 of the battalions. That'd be 2 devils getting through, 2 from the trample on the battalions, and another 4. So it would have been 8 damage. What were they at? Were they at 9? I guess they would have survived if they had the go for the throat in hand, is what I'm getting at, which it doesn't appear that they had a go for the throat. And then they still would have been in a very bad situation, man. Yeah, we didn't even need the Mechanized Warfare that time. That was sick, dude. Holy cow. Okay, so far so good, man. Survive early game, just blitz out the mid game. That was awesome. Ognis doing a thing makes me so happy because the last few times I played with Ognis, it just gets picked up immediately. So yeah, that was a very satisfying match. Honestly, maybe the best hand of the evening so far. Funna goes first, unfortunately, but this is fine. Oh, this is no longer fine. We gotta go, man. We gotta go. Oh, they went first, so yeah, this is gonna be a super uphill battle. Like, getting to 4 mana for the Elder Dragon War probably isn't even gonna work. It's going for it, man. Going for that extra damage. Okay, Volcanic Spite. Maybe we just hit the Swift Spear this turn. I was gonna go Bitter Reunion, trade some stuff out, but like, Twinshot Sniper I'm gonna try to get down as a 4 mana card. I was gonna go Bitter Reunion too, but trading out one of the mountains, see what we see. Volcanic Spite. Okay. Okay, so their last turn, while it was big damage, it was a pretty slow turn, so we might have a chance here. Play with fire. And like a second play with fire, that's why we take it out on our turn, right? Because they could have gotten that Swift Spear. Or like any 1-drop for that matter. Or 2-drop if they found a mountain, right? So yeah. And not drop, of course I mean for the prowess. Okay, we could keep Spite open, or just trade some stuff out with the Bitter Reunion. I think that's better, because we're going to have Elder Dragon War next turn. So, like, it doesn't seem worth it. It just seems better to draw here. Because if we pick up a creature, then the Elder Dragon Ward doesn't pick up as much next turn when it comes time, so... It depends what they do. If they don't have any creatures, this Ognis draw was sick, so... That could be good. If they only play, like, 1 creature, then we could always try Twinshot Sniper. Could be, like, another Lightning Strike. Yep. It's big damage, but it's relatively slow, so I do wonder. Instead of Elder Dragon War, we're probably just going to go Twinshot Sniper, take out Swift Spear, and have a blocker on the ground, and it's a reach blocker at that, so... Ooh, another mountain. Okay, I wonder if that's what's bogging down the opponent's hand here. I like the Celestus into Volcanic Spite, but yeah, getting a blocker down is great against a deck that likes to have haste. And one that can block in the air too is pretty decent, man. So if we could have a couple turns where we're not taking burn to the face, then it might start leaning towards us. It really might. But here he's Warcrafting. Nice. I wonder if they hit like a Play with Fire here or something. Oh, Mishra's Foundry. Oh, that's terrific. That's really good for them. So another blocker is going to be necessary. Hit Fighter. Wow. Okay. That's a card. Could keep the Volcanic Spite. We could go like Celestus. We could do Channel ability on Sniper. And keep the Spite open. See, we're trying to get there before they draw too much is the thing. We go like Elder Dragon War. Then they swing in with Foundry and we're getting very close. So it's just like Twinshot Sniper again. It's like I said, man, very underplayed creature. Or what were my exact words? I think I said like I feel like it's underplayed. But like it does so much, man. Look at it. Look at this little guy go. Holding up these matches, huh? Great draw. Wow. So they can grab They can grab Lightning Strike, take out Sniper, swing for 3, down to 4. So anyone's game, dude. They could win next turn. They could just, like, top deck, stoke the flames or whatever. We don't get to see that too much, but I play it as a one-of in my mono red aggro build. Another Foundry. Nice. Nice. That's really good, dude. Oh, we're in so much trouble, man. So if I would have played that out a little differently, that was just a great top deck, though. We gotta be real. We go Celestus into Thran Spider. They have enough to just, like, swing as much as they need. We go Celestus and not a blocker. Volcanic Spite is no longer open. So we're gonna go Spite on our turn and trade out the Ognis because we're in trouble. Burn down the house, that's good. That's good. But it's actually just gonna be the Thran Spider, so we can successfully block the Foundry, which will actually be unsuccessful because they can buff the Foundry with the Foundry. So yeah, technically we're in trouble. Maybe the burn down the house tokens can help us block. Hopefully they don't draw really well like the adversary play. Oh no. I thought for sure they were just gonna power up Foundry, but no, this makes a lot more sense. Yeah, power Foundry and then use the Foundry ability, and the Power Stone helps them do that too. So that could be okay. Okay, luckily they can't play either of those because they don't have a red source open now. All right, guys, we're in this, man. We can totally do this. Also, let's not forget we can have this come down as a 4/4 dragon if we needed to. Power it up tapped. Yeah, they have nothing else to do for the turn, so they might as well, right? Mightstone, Weakstone isn't bad. Drawing wouldn't be bad. Just taking out the Swift Spear might be better, but taking out the Feldon with Mightstone, Weakstone is probably the best. That way they just see less off the top. So if we go Celestus, and then we go... Oh, wait. Crap. Yeah, well, I think we're in trouble, dude. I think we're in some serious trouble. So, because now they could play Feldon and still power up the Foundry, and we only have one blocker on the board, and they found another adversary, dude. Oh no. Oh no. And they could still play that Feldon. So, oh, I'm surprised they didn't grab the, wait. The Warcrafting? Wait, what ended up happening to their other I thought they played 2 Warcraftings this game. Was it only the one? Down to 3. Play Feldon. Forced to block the adversary. Dude, pushing that damage through, man. Holy cow. Oh. Mightstone, Weakstone on that? No. I know that they get to see 2 cards, and they probably just win with a Lightning Strike or something next turn, but, like, we got to be super careful. Another Feldon. Discard any number of cards, huh? So we can Mightstone, Weakstone that adversary. Actually, yeah, ditch one of these, see what we see. A mountain, okay. So we'd want to, so we have 3 mana open if we go Mightstone. We take out that. We're just kind of dead, aren't we? The Feldon's gonna be 3. So I guess now, instead of Mightstone, Weakstone, we have to go Devils. Dude, what a tough uphill battle, man. Oh my goodness. Gonna Dragon next turn, and the biggest issue is that 3/3 Feldon at this point, man. Them seeing as much as they need to see off the top is terrifying. Still, not powering up the Foundry this turn, potentially, depending on what they have in hand, huh? The Reckless Impulse, keeping their hand nice and stocked. There's the Foundry power up. And then they can also give it +2/+2. So the first goal is taking out Feldon with our -5/-5. So what we end up doing there is we just end up chump blocking, and then chumping the Foundry as well, or trying to take the Foundry out with 2 Devils. How do we feel about that? So we chump Feldon. We block there to keep the Thran Spider around in case they get some flyers off the top, and we double block Foundry and plug the devil damage into that, and then we plug the devil damage there into Adversary. Pretty good, man. Like, we're surviving very well. Let's see what they see off the top with Feldon. Okay, so you burn down the house is just absolutely disgusting, man. It's so good. Every time we play with it, absolute MVP. Keeping us alive. After this, they're down to 1 Foundry. Let's see what they see off the top with this, dude. Again, it could just be a lightning strike, so. Adversary. Holy cow, dude. All right, we're dead next turn then. Oh man, Adversary, so good. Yeah, we're dead off of Adversary next turn regardless, because they just lightning strike our face. So what do we want to do then? Since we're dead with that, we could, I guess we play Mountain. We could draw 2 off of Mightstone, Weakstone. Oh, a Commando flips 2. So they're at 18. We really struggle to actually get damage through. So we'll have 4 open if we play Mightstone. And I guess we draw then, since taking out Feldon doesn't do anything for us now that they have Adversary in hand. Brotherhood's End. Nice. Okay, well. I guess we just won't play anything. We could give haste to the dragon, but... Oh! Guys! I missed something very important here. Celestus ability. Celestus ability. And we could still find spot removal. So we'll ditch the mountain. Actually, we might want to... No. Actually, if we ditch Brotherhood's End and we see another 3-drop, then we could survive. So yeah. So by gaining life off of Celestus, would have been 3 mana, and then this was still 5. So I guess technically... Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think of how we end up wrapping up this game, you know what I mean? Oh, I already played my land this... Oh, I should have ditched the land. I already ended up playing a land this turn, guys. I was thinking we still have Brotherhood's End then, but now we're going to have to block that Feldon, and they're probably going to win with that instead. They flip Commando, they could power up Foundry, they can play Adversary, they just full swing. Crap. Okay, wait, how much mana did I end up having then? So we have 7 here, plus the Power Stone. So if I would have used Celestus's ability to gain life, 1, 2, 3, right? We would have had 5 open, play Mightstone, Weakstone, -5/-5 on Feldon. And then they would have had 3 here. They grab Lightning Strike. It would have been game either way. Oh, plus they have enough mana to just power up Adversary twice and just double down on burn. Yeah, no, I don't know if there was a way through there, guys. What a tough uphill battle, man. The triple Adversary is really showing off its power. Hey, good game, opponent. It really was a good one. Between 2 very different versions of Mono Red. Aha! I give haste to my dragon. I activate my trap card. Oh, man. Yeah, with the Commando flip and the Foundry and everything, there wasn't a sound way through there. Unless I started gaining life off of Celestus earlier, which was something maybe to consider. Like flipping that Celestus earlier on, trying to gain as much life from it as possible. kind of just overlooked it in that game, honestly. I always bring up how good Celestus is and how many games it can actually just hold up. And I kind of just overlooked it. So, yeah, maybe getting that down earlier, maybe we would have had a good chance. Gain some extra life there. I don't know, though, man, because, yeah, the opponent's deck was really stacked. I mean, obviously, it's mono red, so... stacked with power is what I'm getting at there. Let's not keep this. This is the worst hand of the evening, right? If I had 3 mana, maybe, but no, this is way too much top end and nothing to do at the beginning. Unfortunately, we go first here too, so... Okay, I'll ditch a mountain. Bitter Reunion on 2, ditch another mountain, see what we draw, is pretty good, because with the 3rd mana we can play Celestus. And we'll keep an eye on Celestus here if we're up against another aggro build. Make sure we're gaining as much life from it as possible. Alright, see if a Spell Pierce hits. It does not, that's good news. This looks like the type of deck that's gonna be Island Pass, but you never know, it could be, ooh, Plains Pass. That's a make disappear, bro, it's gotta be, right? Let's try the Celestus, though. Celestus counter would be, oh! Celestus is on this board, guys. Maybe it's like soldiers going really slow. Nope, Chrome Host Seed Shark without a counterspell in their opener. Huh. Nice. Okay. All right, so we have our Rampant to Burn. Could get rid of the Chrome Host Seed Shark, but honestly, call me crazy, man. Ognis, let's do this. Now, we get the treasure, so it's worth the swing regardless of the block. Also, risky, because we have an open mana. This could be like a play with fire easily. But yeah. Now we have the burn down the house tokens, ramp into the portal for the turn after. Could be really good, man. All 4 open. Yeah, that's not great to see. Take this action for sure. Volcanic Spite, huh? I don't want that in my hand against this deck, I don't think. Mechanized Warfare, dude. With 4 mana open, I bet it's just like a hard counter spell. You know what I mean? But if it's a make disappear, then burn, we don't have enough mana for the burn down the house. If it is a make disappear, we can successfully get the warfare down. I guess I'm just gonna risk it, man. If it's a hard counterspell, I'd rather warfare go than my double burn down the house, which could easily be the way we wrap up this game, right? If we swing with Ognis, it could get picked up by a Wandering Emperor this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 on the swing. We're 2 away from the portal then. We pick it up with Wandering Emperor. We're gonna go no attacks this turn. I think it's a little bit risky. Memory Deluge. See, we might have been swinging into a ghost regardless. Like, it might not have been a Wandering Emperor. So the extra treasure for the turn, maybe it would have been worth it, but holding back, there's a chance we see land off the top and then we'll have the 2 open if it ends up being make disappear. Probably just pass it right back, right? Could still be like a 3 mana counterspell and still power up the incubator token. Mana off the top, 2 open for the make disappear. Let's give it a shot, man. Here goes nothing. On the edge of my seat. We haven't seen... Okay, Syncopate for 3. Okay, I was gonna say, we haven't seen a counterspell from the opponent yet, so maybe they just don't have any, but that would be shocking, right? Alright. Not swinging into a Wandering Emperor. A little bit of ramp here is definitely not gonna hurt. Hopefully the opponent ends up, like, I don't know, tapping out or something. This looks like the deck that's built to not tap out, though, on their turn. Like, ever, probably, I'm assuming. Because they can always power up those tokens. They're going for a swing this turn, though. They still have 4, so it could still be a Wandering Emperor, or like another Syncopate for 3. So another mana off the top gets around to Syncopate for 3, so that could be fine. Yeah, now that we have Warfare on the board, they can't block the Seed Shark with the Ognis without it dying because that's 4 damage. Hey, another mana. We actually have Portal open too, but that's a counterspell, right? So we're just gonna go burn down the house. We have 3 open if it's another Syncopate. Should we wipe the board instead? No, that's not what the deck's trying to do, man. That's not what it's trying to do at all. Oh, actually, we didn't need the mana. We have 4 open because we got the treasure off of Ognis. Oh my goodness. 4 more treasure tokens. Maybe the portal will actually land next turn too. Maybe. This is fun, guys. This is a really fun build so far. I always have fun with mono red mid range, and we've done a lot of different silly things with mono red mid range. That's 4 less damage. Still big damage from the devils, down to 10, but it's not as great as actually landing both of these burn down the house. So it's nighttime right now. We played a card this turn, but only 1 card. I was gonna say using the Celestus ability with these treasure tokens could be good, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Looks like they're gonna keep the mana open. Down to 9, anyone's game for sure, dude, but I can only imagine it's leaning towards the opponent based on how many cards they have in hand. Oh, farewell, guys. Oh no. Oh no. Well, crap. Yeah, that's brutal. It's gotta be the opponents, dude. It's gotta be. Oh man, I should have known this was a farewell style deck, but hey, since they had to pick up artifacts too, for our treasure tokens, right? Since they had to pick those artifacts up. Wow, and the Seed Shark blocks these so well. Crap, guys. Okay, no point in not playing it while they're tapped out. If we hold that back and try to cast it for 9 mana, it's just not worth it. And since the Seed Sharks block so well, it's just creatures for now. And they can swing in the air quite successfully too, so. Farewell is so brutal all the time. Another battalion. Not bad, dude. Could you imagine us top decking these if that farewell didn't hit the board and we were still stacked with all those treasure tokens and the Mechanized Warfare was on the board too? Oh my goodness, bro. They block 2 of them. It's 8 potential damage, but I can only imagine a Wandering Emperor is going to pick up 1, gain them 2. But, I mean, we got a full swing at some point, so. Couple Incubator tokens. Oh, they can power up the Incubator tokens to block 2. Oh, buddy, dude. Opponent, that deck looks nasty, man. That's disgusting, dude. Block 3 of them, take 4, back down to 8. Well, this is awkward, huh? Even if we see 2 mana in the next 2 turns. Oh no, we're actually dead. Power up Incubator, swing. Hey, good game, opponent. First of all, I always appreciate a control deck that can actually wrap up the game. So, as brutal as the farewell was, I really appreciate the Seed Shark side of control decks. Because they can wrap up matches, and it looks solid, it really does. Alright guys, as much as I would have loved to end on a high note, I feel like the deck kind of did a thing today. Even in the games that we lost, we really showcased what the deck was supposed to be doing anyways. Like, really well, honestly. I feel like you could accomplish the thing that the deck is supposed to do a lot. Hey, we got the final sleeve from the set. Very cool. Not going to set it as default because I usually use like red sleeves for my default, but still, very cool one. Okay, guys. Let's go over the deck list one more time here. Here's the deck list again, guys. Hasty Token Mid-Range. This was a fun one, dude. I had a ton of fun with it, actually. I really like the balance of all the cards in here. I like having all 4 burn down the house with all 4 battalions, just really heavily leaning into that mid-game slamming hasty tokens down. I loved that, dude. Ognis was actually surprisingly great in the matches that it showed up in. Twinshot Sniper was terrific. I actually might consider 3 of these. I don't know about all 4. There's going to be some games where you get like 3 of them in your opening hand. Even then, I guess it's not too bad. It has the channel ability. If you needed that early removal, you could channel a couple of them out and still have that 3rd one. Yeah, you know what? 3 or 4 Twinshot Snipers would not be too bad. And then sometimes you're ramping with like the Thran Spider's Power Stones, or like the Mightstone Weakstones, making the Twinshot Sniper even cheaper. I could totally see like dropping a Volcanic Spite or a Play with Fire or one of each and going up 1 to 2 more Twinshot Snipers. I could totally see it. I do think it's that terrific sometimes. Another cool thing, I believe the channel ability gets around cards like Thalia and stuff too, right? Let's read. Oh. Let's read Thalia real quick. Oh. First strike, non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. And then let's read channel real quick here. Oh, lagging it out. Channel, discard Twinshot Sniper. It deals 2 damage to any target. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Thalia doesn't affect that because, yeah, yeah, we know that because Thalia doesn't affect the utility lands. I was just double checking just in case I was thinking wrong, but no, yeah, so maybe depending on what you're seeing too, like a lot of mono white or soldiers, they all play Thalia, and legends too. There's a lot of Thalia, dude. I could totally see dropping a Play with Fire, dropping a Volcanic Spite, you have 2 of each, and then going up 2 more Twinshot Snipers. It could be really good, man. It really, really could be. And then, of course, don't forget you could play it out as a 4-drop creature, and hopefully it's going to be a little cheaper than that with some Power Stones between Thran Spider, Mightstone, Weakstone. Terrific cards, dude. Love them both. I obviously love Celestus in here, too. I like the top-end portal in that last game. That farewell hit at the worst time possible, man, right before we were able to cast the portal off of all the extra treasures that we made with Ognis, which was really good, too. Like the 2 of Brotherhood's End. I don't think I'd go up to 3. I think 2 is completely fine based on what's in here. Same thing with the Bitter Reunion, man. I think 2 is completely fine. I think the total mana at 25 was fine, too. There were some moments where, like, seeing the mana right on time would have really, really, I guess, leaned the match into our favor just a little bit. But I don't think I want to go up to 26, not in this deck in particular. However, if you are struggling with mana and you are the type of player who just wants 26 in their mid-range, then I could see dropping down to like 2 Mightstone and Weakstones. I think that would be the card, because we have a lot of cards that we're playing out as a 5-drop anyways. I think dropping down to 2 of these would be completely fine to go up that 26. I know I'm not going to be doing that, though, especially since we're filtering out with so many of the other cards in this deck. Mechanized Warfare, not just an aggro card, man. I think it does belong in certain mid-range builds, especially like this one, where we're just really trying to pile through early mid-game damage after surviving the setup. So I like it. I like it a lot. And if you take this out, you're taking out part of the soul of the deck. But if you do, then you'd probably just want to go out more ways to survive a little bit longer, too. At that point, a lot of mid-range style builds like this need some other form of life gain, and the Celestus life gain probably isn't going to be enough, unless maybe you could run 2 of these, since we're filtering so much, even though it's legendary. Worst comes to worst, you could always use the Celestus ability on the Celestus in your hand, too. Just ditch it, right? So, I don't know. Maybe. I could see that as well. Double Celestus. It's still probably not going to be enough life gain for a build like this, but having mono red mid-range usually means you're not going to have a lot of life gain anyways. Now, there are some like artifacts we could potentially run that gain life, but I don't think those would be worth it either. Maybe, though, like Circuit Mender. When it ETBs, you gain 2 life, not bad. And then when it leaves the battlefield, so even if it's exiled, you draw a card too. And that works with the Power Stones, Mightstone, Weakstone, Thran Spider, stuff like that. So maybe, I don't know. Just a thought, I guess, right? Like, that could have been really good we played like a couple of those against that mono red build, that would have been like 4 life. So yeah, I don't know, maybe. Either way, guys, hope you enjoyed the build. Thank you again for the suggestion over in the Discord. It was the patrons' suggestions over in that Discord, so nice exclusive channel, and one of the main reasons to try out the Patreon. So yeah, thank you again. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.